A warm welcome to my students, to my channel, Anglopedia. Students, in the previous video, I have come up to line number 116. I have explained you up to there. Today I am going to start Act 3, Scene 2, Part 3, as it is given here, Part 3. So, Bassanio, I'm going to start with Bassanio, and as usual I'm telling you, if you like my teaching or my channel, please subscribe it. Okay, let us start, children. Be ready with your book. Bassanio, what find I here? Bassanio has already selected the right casket, and we have seen previous to this how Portia was overwhelmed with excitement and happiness. So Bassanio has opened the casket, lead casket. He is asking, what did I get here? He is talking to himself. Opening the leaden casket, he has opened. Now what he finds? Fair Portia's counterfeit. Beautiful Portia's portrait. Now we'll see how he is going on describing her portrait one by one. What demigod had come so near creation? He's asking, who is that artist? Is he a semi-divine artist who has done this, drawn this portrait? Who is that? That means by his saying this, demi or semi-divine artist shows that the portrait was excellent. Then he says, move these eyes. Are these eyes moving? By looking at Portia's portrait, he's asking, are these eyeballs moving? Or whether riding on the balls of mine seem they in motion? Or whether it is fixed on my eyeballs, and so they seem to be moving. As my eyes are moving, so are they fixed in my eyeballs? Because I feel that the eyes are moving, means the portrait is so lively. Here are seaward lips. So it shows that the lips were open, little bit open, seaward lips, separated, parted with sugar breath. Pleasant breath is coming out through those two lips, which has parted these two lips. So sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Such sugar breath is the barrier which has become an obstacle between two friends. Two lips are compared with two friends because we always close our lips. So two friends are together. But this sweet breath has separated the two lips. Here in her hair. So the lips are over. Now he is going to describe her hair. The painter plays the spider and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men faster than gnats in cobwebs. So what he says, how the painter has painted the hair. He is saying the painter has made her hair like a spider web. As the spider makes the web, the painter has painted the hair in that way, and hath woven a golden mesh. He has made a golden net with that hair to trap the hearts of people as the insects get trapped in the cobweb. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? So the hair is over, now he is describing her eyes. But look at her eyes, how wonderful he has painted. How could he see? How could the painter paint her eyes? Why? Why he is saying that? Because the beauty of the first eye should have absolutely dazzled him. As he painted the first eye, it should have dazzled him absolutely dazzled him, which because of this, when he painted one eye, he should have lost both of his. That means he became blind. The eyes are so dazzled that after painting one eye, he has left the other one because he himself became blind. That means the first eye should have been left without its companion. Maybe her side face is shown. That's why he is describing it this way. That only one eye, naturally when you have a picture of a side face, only one eye can be seen. Methinks it should have power to steal both and leave itself unfurnished. He has left the painting unpainted. Thus, the eyes are left unpainted. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this. After describing so beautifully, again he says that, but see, just as my actual praise is doing unjust to the portrait, same way the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprising it, so far the shadow doth limp behind the substance. So beautifully described, but still he is saying that I am doing unjust to the portrait. As how? As the portrait has underestimated the real Portia. That means real Portia was very beautiful. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. Then he looks at the scroll. He says it contains of my fortune, which is summarized here. What is that? He reads, you that choose not by the view, you have selected me not by my outward appearance, chance as fair and choose as true. You had a good chance and you have chosen the correct casket. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. Since this good luck belongs to you, so don't look for, be satisfied with it and don't look for anything new. If you be well pleased with this and hold your fortune for your bliss, if you are contented with your this luck, if you are pleased with your this luck and consider it your luck as greatest, happiest as you ever had, turn you where your lady is and claim her with a loving kiss. Then turn to the lady and claim her and give her a loving kiss. So this is the content of the scroll. Now, a gentle scroll, fair lady, by your leave. Then he says, well written. In the scroll it is well written, okay, my beautiful lady, with your permission, by your leave, with your permission. Then he went and kissed her. I come by note to give and to receive. I approached as it is directed. So I came to give and to get a kiss from you, like one of two contending in a prize. So here he is so perplexed. Bassanio is so perplexed that he is saying, I am like one of the two fighters taking part in a contest for a prize. That things he has done well in people's eyes. Who thinks? That means Bassanio thinks that he has done well in the eyes of the spectators. Hearing applause and universal shout, he hears the applause and the shouts of everyone, from everyone. Everyone is approving him by shouting. giddy in spirit. He is dazed in the excitement, still gazing in a doubt. He's still staring around in a doubt. For what? For what he is doubting? Whether those peals of praise of his or no, whether the shouts of praise are meant for him or his opponent. As so, thrice fair lady, so most beautiful lady, stand I even so. My most beautiful lady, I'm standing here, as doubtful whether what I see be true. I'm in a doubt. What I see, is it true or not? Until confirmed, signed, ratified by you. Until it is confirmed, approved or accepted by you. After hearing what Bassanio said, Portia, you see me, my lord. Lord Bassanio, where I stand. You can see me as I am. I'm standing in front of you as I am. Such as I am. Though for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish. As far as my own desires are concerned, I am not at all ambitious. I do not have any wish to be ambitious. To wish myself much better, for being much better, yet for you I would be treble 20 times myself. I do not have any ambition to be better than what I am. But for you, Bassanio, I wish to be 3 times 20 of what I am. 1,000 times more fair. I want to be more beautiful than what I am now. 10,000 times more rich. I want to be richer than what I am. That only to stand high in your account. Only to stand high in your opinion. I might be virtuous, beauties, living friends, exceed account. And for that, I wish that I should exceed in all calculations in friends, virtues, beauty, status, property. I want to be high in your opinion. But the full sum of me is sum of something which in term to gross. But the sum total of my qualities are very meager. I'm not very such a qualified person. To term in gross is an unlessoned girl. But to express briefly, I am an untaught girl, unschooled, unpracticed. I am untrained, untaught, untrained, and inexperienced lady. Happy in this is not yet sold. But I am happy, though these are the things I have. But I am happy that I am not so old that you cannot teach me. If you want, you can teach me. She is not bred, but she may learn. Happier than this. She is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Even I am much more happier that I am not a stupid student. I am not born or I am not brought up in a stupid way. If you teach me, I can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed. And she is saying she is happiest. Why? Because her humiliation, she is humiliated, humble, her humbleness. She shows her humbleness here, commits itself to yours to be happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be. She is very humble. So she surrendered herself. Because of her humbleness, she surrendered herself to Bassanio to be her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours. So long, whatever was mine, I myself and whatever was mine, now it is yours, is now converted. Now it belongs to you. But now I was the lord of this fair mansion. So long I was the owner of this beautiful palace, master of my servant, I was the master of my servants, queen over myself, I was queen of myself. And even now, but now, this house, this servant and this same myself are yours. But from this moment, I myself, my house, my property, my servants, all belong to you. I give them with this ring, which when you part from lose or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love. And with this, I am giving you a ring. She gives a ring and says that if you ever part with it or lose it or give away to anyone, let it presage the ruin of your love. Then let it be foretell the end of your love. That means you are not loving me anymore. And be my vantage to exclaim on you. And I will get an opportunity to accuse you. So this speech is very important, children, where she is giving the ring. Bassanio, Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins. So Bassanio is saying, you have taken away all my power of speech. Only my emotions are speaking to you in my body. And there is such confusion in my powers as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince. Then how he is describing? He is saying that all my emotions, how he is confused now to speak. He is saying they are just like the faculties of my mind is such as after a speech which is delivered well by a beloved prince. Now those who were hearing it, how they are confused. Though they are very happy, but they are confused. They don't know how to express their happiness. My condition is also such. Among the buzzing pleased multitude, among the murmuring crowd, where every something being blend together, where every sound that is to be uttered being mixed. So all the feelings are mixed up. I don't know how to express it. Turns to a wild of nothing save of joy, expressed and not expressed. They are produced, the wild expression, except, that is save the joy, except the happiness, which is expressed and unexpressible. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. But then he promised that if ever this ring is parted from me, then parts life from hence, or then be bold to say Bassanio is dead. If ever this ring is parted from my body, then you can say that Bassanio's life is also finished. And you can courageously say that Bassanio, you are dead for me. So long Nerissa and Bassanio were nearby. Now Nerissa is speaking. My lord and lady, it is now our time that has stood by and seen our wishes prosper to cry, good joy, my lord and lady. So she is saying, Nerissa we have seen before, she is lady in waiting. She is saying to Bassanio and Portia that now it is our turn to speak. We were standing beside you and seeing how your happiness, your wish is fulfilled. Now let us shout, be happy, good joy, be happy. Grassanio, my Lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that you can wish. Now Grassanio is saying to Bassanio and Portia, now it is our turn. I wish you all the joy and can wish. So I wish, let us also wish you all, to you means here both to Bassanio and Portia, that you can wish how much happiness you wish. I am also wishing the same thing. I don't think you can wish more than my wish, for I am sure you can wish none from me. You cannot wish for any more than I wish for you. And when your honors mean to solemnize the bargain of your faith, and when you are going to solemnize or celebrate the promise of your love, means when you are going to get married, I do beseech you, even at that time I may be married too. I request you that when you all are going to get married, I also want to get married. Bassanio, with all my heart, so thou canst get a wife. Yeah, wholeheartedly I am willing that you should get married. But do you know, to get married you need a wife? Bassanio, I thank your lordship, you have got me one. Yes, I thank you, Bassanio. You only gave me one. How? My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. My eyes are as swift in recognizing beauty as yours eye. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. You saw the mistress, that is Portia, and I saw her maid, Nerissa. You loved, I loved. You also fell in love of Portia, I also fell in love of Nerissa. For intermission, nobody, no more pertains to me. I don't want to wait anymore. For intermission, no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. As you can't wait for the marriage, even I also can't wait. And so did mine too. As the matter falls, for wooing here until I sweat again. As it happens, I have been wooing her until I perspire, and swearing till my very roof was dry. I have been swearing until my mouth got dry. With oaths of love, I was only talking about love to her until my mouth got dry. If promise last, I got promise of these fair one here. At last, she gave me the promise, she gave me the word. What? To have her love, provided that your fortune achieved her mistress. She promised that if her mistress gets married, then only she will accept my love. Portia, is this true, Nerissa? Now Portia is asking to Nerissa, whatever he is saying, is it true? Nerissa, madam, it is, so you stand pleased with all. Then he says, yes, madam, it is true, provided you are pleased. Bassanio, and do you, Grassanio, mean good faith? Then because Grassanio always talk nonsense, so Bassanio is in doubt and is saying, do you mean it sincerely to or truly to marry? Grassanio, yes, faith, my lord. Yes, sir, it is true. Bassanio, our feast shall be much honored in your marriage. Our marriage feast will be better solemnized with your marriage. Grassanio, but who comes here? Then they heard some sound and saying, somebody is coming. Lorenzo and his infidel. Infidel means those who don't believe in Christianity. That is Jessica. So Lorenzo and Jessica is coming. What? And my old Venetian friend. And also my Venetian friend Salario is coming. Okay children, today up to here. Thank you for being with me. In my next video, I'll finish this scene. Act 3, Scene 2.